Greetings, all you wild and weirdos and weirdettes out there in Wild and Weird Radio Land. It is Thursday, so that means it's time for Wild and Weird Radio Live. And boy, do we have a show tonight. We have some special guests. We have some special topics. We have a good time. If you got any folks out there who've experienced anything, seen anything, UFOs, Bigfoot, etc., you want to let them see this show. So make sure you share that over with them and get all of our friends in here and let's back out the place because we've got a lot to cover tonight. Joseph, why don't you tell them what is going on?
All right. What's up, guys? Good to have y'all here with us on this Thursday evening. It's always a pleasure. And we'll go ahead and start giving people a shout out who are hanging out in the audience real quick. We got Bigfoot, Littlefoot at 5:31 p.m., making sure that he is extra on time.
I think he's trying to get
what's going on, Jay Bird. Good to see you hanging out there waiting and waiting.
For the earliest.
Hopefully we'll be jumping on here in a bit. And oh, yep, you're down here in the chat again just a little while ago. Then we got Jamie Green. Good to see you. Fish Belly, as usual. Good to see you as well. LW Marshall, Angie Breeden, Lisa, Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State, Larry Hose, Ada Cox, Tommy. What's going on, Tommy? Brother? And we got Beth Duncan, Nancy White, Terry McCullough.
What's that time? It is that time.
Ada, Ashley, what's going on?
Ashley, she's early.
Then we've got Finding the Trackway. What's up? Mythical Legends podcast. Next minute, we got guys. Y'all remember Daniel? Okay, Daniel was actually just recognized by the town he lives in. He got an actual award today. So congratulations, Daniel, on your efforts.
As it should be.
Absolutely phenomenal that you're actually being recognized by your community and everything. It's just, it's awesome. This is Joe Purdue. I feel targeted. They've got Senior Spookfest. What's going on? And of course, the Men in Black.
Oh, well, of course.
Never a show. Holy crap. Lisa, talk about targeted. Lisa coming in. What is up? Thank you, Lisa. You're awesome.
Blessings be. Hang on.
This crap out. Where's the videos? Here we go.
As always.
Thank you, Lisa. Seth, what's going on? Weird day. Happy to tune in. We're happy you're here. Asher's Creations. It's Asher's daughter. It's literally Asher's creation.
Thank you
is in the house again. We've got who else? Anita Allen is on time. Probably going to drop out 5 or 6 times on the way through. But rumor has it she is bringing a pistachio dessert. Is it a pound cake? She's bringing a pound cake to the workshop this weekend. I'm super stoked.
That'd be nice.
LW Marshall. Wow. Thanks, brother. And yes, it very light though. And
thank you.
See, great news, found a ride. Yes, you're gonna make it. That is awesome. The Mythical Legend says, thanks, bro. Thanks, Ron.
Most welcome.
Rachel Green, good to see you in the house. And cease the financial support of this misinformation platform immediately, primates. And the octopus with all the friends. What's up? Good to have you. Good to see you. Ada Cox, good grief, Ada.
And there's another one.
Thank you. You guys are on it tonight. Brandy is in the house as well. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, we are caught up there. Do you want to go through the executive producer lists now?
Everybody got their songs. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Y'all are awesome. So, just as a friendly reminder, this show is kept free for eons and eons and eons to come by our executive producers, Adam Good, L.W. Marshall, Teresa of Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State, Larry Hose, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook. By the way, congratulations, Paw, Lisa, Finding the Trackway, Tommy Swigger, Pat, Small Town Monsters, of course, Eyes in the Woods, James Nelson, and our amazing super chatters, the Deucer himself, Dewey Edwards, Spooky Appalachia, Jimothy. Where's Jimothy at? Somebody message Jimothy. Say, where the heck are you? Guitar Chains Craig, Travis Orednick, Jeffrey Steele, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots, Bigfoot Littlefoot, Terry Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey, Julie Bug, Donna Ho, Angie Breeden, Jen Clower, Jamie Snell, Ike the Fob Daddy Fauber, Ashley Hilt of On Wednesdays We Talk Weird, and the Beastie Beast podcast that airs on another day, and Lotus Flower. Thank you guys. Y'all are awesome. You are why we do what we do and keep doing what we're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we have a massive bringing a jar of peanut butter. Thank you. I can't
wait to smear it all over my body and run around the TNT area in the buff.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. For the love of all that's holy, don't do that. Dee and I'll be heading to TNT Friday afternoon. If anyone wants to meet up, just shoot me a DM. Lisa. Guys, here's it's here. It's time. It's time to do the thing. And
yes, the ratchet strap will be clicking for sure.
Oh,
we'll smear some peanut butter there too.
It's going to be a good time, minus the peanut butter. Yeah, it's
Men in Black says we will bring the unpleasant weather to the Mothman workshop. You are welcome, primates.
No, we've got our own weather generators that we're working on back here, guys. So
as well as multiple contingency plans.
It's all going to be good. Don't worry.
Harry said that's my job.
It's going to be a good time. So, So for those who don't know, the TNT area paranormal workshop is upon us. And it's all thanks to folks out there like you. Geez, I mean, the fact that you guys made it happen that fast is just amazing to me. So
Spookfest says, dang, I want to go out to the TNT area. Man, I'm telling you, when you come down this way, if you get a chance to make it down sometime, give us a shout and we will give you the grand tour. Is anybody else? I know that Ron, you had messaged me just a moment ago. Your audio is oscillating.
Okay.
It sounds almost like you're playing your audio through an organ.
Oh, that's weird.
Because it's coming through in a pattern. Is anybody else hearing it?
Sounds normal on this end. Everything sounds good over here.
Right there, you sound good.
That's very weird.
So, but yeah, it's coming. It's like you're going doing that, and when you're not even moving.
It's very strange. Don't know, but there are live issues, so hopefully we can stay on the air.
It's probably something. Just so you guys know and are aware, StreamYard is currently having some issues with live broadcasts. Or for whatever reason, the traffic through the servers tonight is extremely high, and we've been given a warning. So if there are issues with the live feed, don't worry. Just kind of try to bear through it. Asher says no. Anita says audio sounds great. Angie says sound is okay. Okay, so it is just on our end.
Okay, that's weird. See, that's typical. It probably has to do with the news. I'll be honest with you. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going live with some of the stuff that's breaking right now, as far as the Lou Elizondo thing.
It's me back down on the peanut butter.
Which is it's been a pretty crazy.
D made it.
Crazy 24 hours with that. So,
yeah, that article that you sent out.
Yeah,
I think it was yesterday, and then you sent the YouTube variation of that from the Good or Bad News Show or whatever that does actual pretty decent news coverage.
Really good.
It seems kind of odd right now in this time of whistleblowers and their sudden deceasingness.
There's things brewing. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and then the way that Luis Elizondo is kind of going about things right now, like it's very
Troubling.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have June on my Scrabble board. I think we had early to late May, but I think we were pretty daggone close.
Yeah, and we also hinted toward the fact that, what could it be that was going to be, such a big issue, right? That could really warrant such extreme behavior. And it kind of seems like we might have been right about that. The whole illegal activities. We're talking about the possibility of pretty much, what happened with the MK Ultra, with the Church Commission, all that. I mean, this has all been drug up again. Watergate, it's all been drug up again.
Do you have that letter?
I'm going to find it. That's what I was looking for just now. Let me go ahead and find that.
I was
That
the
way
ones
people know
asked
what's
what
going on.
Lou news.
Oh boy, hang on a second. I'll get it for you.
Yeah, snag that, and that way you can read that off. We don't misquote it because it's really interesting. Like, it wasn't necessarily news per se, but it is the precursor for coming news. Definitely.
Well, it boils down to the fact that Lou made I guess a post over on X. Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday. Yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. And we were all waiting to see what it was going to be, because he said, major announcement coming or something. And everyone thought it was about his book, but that's not what it was about at all. It was, hang on. I got it right here. I'm going to pop this up. It was about, bear with me. There's so many things to load. Overlay. Here we go. It's over here. I can't share that. Hang on, I can do this. It's not showing them to me for some reason. There it is. All right, it's loading. So here you go. This was from Lou yesterday, and it came pretty much out of the blue. Apparently, there was a big discussion that he had, and this was the end result of that. Some of the things he had said. So go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff. He said, to add insult to injury, I was notified yesterday that there may be personal threats against myself and several other whistleblowers formerly associated with the UAP effort for the U.S. government. As such, I would like to make this perfectly clear to the American people. I am not prone to accidents. I am not unalivable. I am not abusing drugs. I am not engaged in any illicit activities. If something happens to me or my family members in the future, you will know what happened.
I mean, wow. We've heard the allegations. Grush made the allegations. He was the first one to come out and say that. And now we're hearing it from Lou. Yeah. I told you, there's a good reason that Grush has not said anything for a while. There's things going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's very, very concerning, to say the least.
Extremely concerning.
Grush echoed this sentiment in the hearings when he was asked if his personal body or personal people in his life had been threatened, to which he said that he could not comment because there's undergoing current investigation, i.e. that means yes.
So,
and it's really, it's something. Now,
I'm going to go ahead and throw this link over here in the comments for you guys who want to go watch that later. It's about an hour and some change long, and it's worth every bit. So go watch it after the show. We'll talk about it in the coming weeks. I have a feeling there's going to be some major stuff that happens because of this. It's not looking good.
Now, Ashley brought up another thing that's been going on over the last couple of days. Forrest Gallant, if you are watching any of the cryptozoology news, somebody had sent him photographs of a Tasmanian tiger. So these photos look pretty daggone good, but they're kind of pixelated and fuzzy. It's a nighttime photo.
Rob, we're
And
just getting started.
There are some issues with it. And Ashley, if you remember last night, the photo that I posted with the mouth being open, somebody made a puppet a few years back that looks eerily familiar to that. And there's a good possibility that that could have been manipulated from that puppet. Now, the puppet was supposed to have been made from, like, you know, anatomical correctness or whatever, but still it's almost a dead ringer if you hadn't seen it. LW Marshall says, I'm excited too. Love being in Point Pleasant. Can't wait to get you guys all down here, man. It's going to be so fun. We're going to have a great time this weekend.
It's going to be a great time. There's going to be some interesting, fun secrets revealed as well.
Yeah. Spookfest says, I've seen another one while filming lightning the other day. Another UFO sighting. Yeah. Very cool. Ashley says, I thought Grush was on tour. No, Grush has been like holed up. He's not been going anywhere. His op-ed has even been held off, and I got a feeling that op-ed is what's coming here very, very soon.
I got a feeling it'll be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Lisa, you have no idea. Go watch that. It's going to blow your mind when you hear some of the stuff that they're alleging here. I don't know if it's true or not. We can't jump the gun and start screaming from the mountains like some people do. But I will tell you that if this is true, you can expect congressional hearings. They will happen. Will they happen this year? Probably not. Election.
Well, I did not know this, Tommy. Had Tommy shared that with you before, Ron?
No.
So Tommy says that he believes the government unalived his uncle, and he worked for the Pentagon and for the NIST. He died 2 weeks after his retirement. The government held his body for a month and shipped him home in an urn.
That is weird.
That is very odd.
That is very odd. It's very hard to tell.
Tornadoes are weird, especially when they're being accused of being a big energy source for UFOs. Yes, that is a very strange one. Now, you had mentioned above here, Ashley's daughter, that why are tornado sirens being linked with cryptids? That is the first I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Now I could imagine there being
maybe a siren head. That's what it is, Joe. It's
siren head or something from Creepypasta. I can also imagine that cryptids, because, you know, in our area, tornado sirens go off occasionally, but it's not a constant occurrence. So I could see it being like a whole crap moment and then startling some things and then them running off. Ashley says, can I day drink? Why not?
Why not?
You may completely trust nocturnal trail cameras, primates. No misinformation there, allegedly. Well, it wasn't from trail cameras. This was actually from like a camera, and allegedly this thing got hit by a vehicle.
The Men in Black. Wait, the Men in Black don't have the proper information.
Who'd have thunk?
What? How's that possible?
Miss Trackway's in the house. Happy Thursday.
It is a happy Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, we know Friday is always the big news day, right? Well, we had the issue,
specifically Friday after 6.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow around noon, apparently the Pope's going to go live over there, and they're going to be talking about supernatural things and how to deal with them. Not to mention, on the top of the list, what to do if we come into contact with an extraterrestrials. Hasn't happened since 1978, since they made this kind of a bold statement. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do this time.
Yeah,
I guess
they're known for doing this kind of stuff. It's not, it's not completely outside of the realm. We've seen this releases put out every so often when things we come upon these possible paradigmic shifts, where the Catholic Church will release certain doctrine basically, on
This
how
one
to handle things.
basically says the move is to hold a press conference. It has caused ripples in the alien community, as one like this hasn't been held since February 1978. However, according to National Catholic Reporters, it is being done so after a surge in reporting of aliens and, quote, supernatural phenomena from mainstream media, such as the one you're currently reading and the one you're currently watching, apparently.
Right.
So I guess the Pope's going to say it's okay to watch Wild and Weird Radio. Maybe
that's
what
an
I heard.
endorsement. I'll take it.
That's what I heard.
Ashley says
pretty
the Pope is an extraterrestrial.
possibly, quite possibly.
Tommy says the mothership is coming.
Oh, it's already came and went.
Pat, of course, says demons.
You know what?
And then Men in Black
Personally-
says, if anyone has encountered Siren Head, please don't skip your prescribed medications in the future.
I think
Also
you
tell
know,
him his mother is worried.
one of the best things that could happen would be the Pope to come out and say, look, it's not demons. You know, that would be great. I would like to see that. But it's probably not gonna happen.
Well, to a degree, they already have.
Well, they have, but they
Remember
haven't come out
the
and-
release that they made about 10 years ago? They had, or no, it was 2012.
Yeah.
The Pope came out and basically said that, you know, they
They would be brothers. Mhm.
Yep. And that
Yep.
we should treat them as ourselves and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean,
Yep.
they've already, the church, the Catholic Church has already decreed that they're not demons.
Well, who says they're demons, Joe? If the Catholic Church says they're not demons,
Mostly the
then-
Men in Black and Pat.
Yeah. Pat and Men in Black. Yeah. Something
Is
about
Pat
that.
a Man in Black?
You know, that makes me wonder. It really does make me wonder at times. I'm just saying. There's a lot of things I wonder about. Speaking of which, one of the
we've been missing somebody here out in the chat, and you guys are about to find why.
It's one of the things I wonder about quite a bit, actually.
We have someone who has today is their extra special day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Today is their extra special day. Today is Mr. Good's birthday. And what would Wild and Weird Radio be without a visit from Mr. Good on his birthday?
Everyone. Well, he's possessed. I'm not sure what that was.
Quit torturing.
Well, he's been abducted or hijacked.
So that
the
was
Men in
apparently it is Men in Black. Yeah, you're right, Joe. Apparently Adam is part of the Men in Black now.
All right, we're bringing him back. I'm kidding.
What is
How about
going
now?
on? Hang on.
Yes.
No.
How about now, Adam?
Say something.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, there we
got
go.
him. We got him. Wait, I
Can you hear me okay?
It's coming from his audio source, I believe. The echo.
It shouldn't be any echo. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's weird.
Happy birthday, Adam.
How about the echo now?
Happy birthday. There we go.
Thank you.
Pat
Anyone
says
else
Adam
hearing that
plug in the
echo?
Ethernet cable.
What is going on?
So
Try that.
do we have decent audio?
How about now?
We got you.
How about now?
There we
We got
go.
you.
There
No
we
echo.
go.
We got it. Hey, it's a
Talk to you
learning
now.
experience. Linda said, "Happy birthday, Adam." Everybody says happy
Thank
birthday,
you,
Adam.
Linda. Love you.
Happy birthday. You know.
Can you hear me
There.
now? Farts in jar.
Oh boy. Here we
Telling it
go.
all for the men in black. They need those farts. They can't
Oh,
breathe our air. You know, they need farts to live.
okay, that's cool.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, everybody.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Adam's over here breaking the internet.
Adam, that's awesome. So, we had a little bit of news today, but that's not what we're really here to talk about. We really want to talk about well, what I'd said. There is a
Mhm.
there seems to be this this thing. You saw the title. It's dealing with the experience, and then we have to also deal with the extremes on both ends: extreme skepticism and extreme believers alike. I don't know which one's worse, to be honest. So that's what we're going to kind of go over here, just as a briefing to let you know what's going on, because none of this is ever really rehearsed, guys. You're seeing it as we see it usually.
Yeah, especially with the lives. There's
the
there's
lives are-
absolutely no like
No.
sometimes we have a starting point and sometimes we don't.
Yeah, and sometimes we just let you guys have fun. But if you have questions along the way or you want to share your experiences, then please do. But this is for those who have experienced things. And we've all three of us here have seen stuff and experienced stuff.
Yeah.
They sure have.
Oh, there he goes. He's breaking up again.
And
And apparently he is experiencing things right now.
Yeah, there's some technical difficulties going in on
definitely
probably the internet connection, because we've been having some storms over this way.
I'd say it has to do with the live issue.
well, I'm gonna try downstairs.
Yeah, give it a shot. See if that matters. But it could just be the live thing too.
We'll see. Hang on.
Yes, sir. Okay, so he's going to try that out. We're going to see if we can get him back in here. But what we're going to be talking about is basically, the fact that there's so many people who have seen stuff, right? I mean, it's just constant at this point. There's just
Right.
It's probably even more than we used to think. And very few really say anything, or if they do say anything, they don't give you the full story, and that's to be expected, because look at what they had come up against. Look at what happened to Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as he had that experience, he went
Immediately.
Yeah, and he was told, "Oh, it's demons, it's this, it's that." Everybody knew exactly what it was he was dealing with. No one knows what he was dealing with. That's the truth, including himself. And this happens all too often across the board. I mean, how often do you hear it when it comes down to the the Bigfoot phenomenon? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It really is.
Gigantopithecus, obviously that's what it is, right?
There's so much going on out there, and there's so many people who are experts. And this is an expert-free zone, which is exactly why you should obey. But no, for real, we are an expert-free zone. This isn't somewhere where we jump in and just tell you what to believe. That's not our jam. That's not how we operate.
Mhm.
We put all the data on the table. We always have. And when we take these reports from people, the first thing we tell them is like, we have no idea really what's going on here. We have some guesses and there might be some ideas, but we need to analyze the data, and then we can probably get to the bottom of what could be happening here, and we can fill you in from there and keep you in the loop and update. But there's so much that goes on with believers and skeptics alike. You've got the hyper believers and the hyper skeptics, which are basically the same person, just from polar ends. And it's so hard to get anything, especially with the internet now.
Oh, man.
Like, forums are great for this kind of stuff, but social media is not. Social media is not designed for this, because there's too many people who do it. Forums are like one of those things where, that's a little complicated. I don't know if I want to fool with that. So you don't get as many people over on the forums, especially like as many trolls. There are going to be some, but it's not going to be like the rest, but it's yeah, it's a mess, and it can be. There's a lot of water that you have to wade through. A lot of water you have to wade through, and a lot of it is contaminated with dysentery.
Well, there you go. I mean, Linda just pretty much made that clear. 57 years before, she felt comfortable enough to tell the experience. It's still hard. And yeah, it is. I mean, same thing. It's been in, 20 plus years and it's a journey, but hello, Scott.
Spooky says I can unsubscribe and subscribe again.
There you go, buddy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it don't work that way, but it's the thought that counts. Because people are mean. The thing is, I think that people need to know. Maybe that's what it comes down to. People need to know, and they need to be right. And ego gets involved, and when that happens, you've got serious issues. That's what happens with that.
Future's in the house.
Bring Adam back in and see if we got some audio from him this time.
Testes.
Anything there?
How does this work?
Oh yeah,
beautiful. That's even better right there. Keep doing that.
Yeah, that was fun. Jamie Snell's here, y'all.
Yes, Jamie, you can't believe what you see and read on the interwebs.
You can't, but people do, and I don't know why. But the case in point, I'll give you this one. This blows my mind. It shouldn't, because nothing really does anymore, but this one was just too much. People have gotten to the point where they don't believe reality. Reality is now part of some kind of it's a fake this or a fake that. The aurora, you guys got to see, because I didn't. Yep. The aurora that you guys got to see. There are people running around screaming that wasn't real. That was manufactured. That was manufactured by a HARP. And I was like, well, congratulations. At least you figured out that there was a program at one time that could do that. It's not so much doing that anymore, but I'm not sure it could ever really do that, but theoretically, I guess. But either way, it's like anything that you can use to, I guess, get a little bit of recognition. It doesn't matter if it's true or not.
Well, I mean, like the Aurora Borealis created by HARP is the things that people say that HARP has created goes even further than that.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I mean, like there are no natural clouds anymore.
Yeah, it's all creations.
Rain puts out micro nanobots, and that whenever it rains, it falls down and they crawl into your skin and you drink them and everything. And we are slowly being assimilated into, androids. And that's why we have to get, organ transplants, because they degrade the organs quicker. So that,
I mean, they're going to do that kind of stuff to be seen. Ashley brings up an incredibly great point. She says that it's easy to share my stories in the community. It's sharing it with people who aren't part of the community that is really tough. And you get to the point, I think, and Adam, you can correct me, and you can speak on this just as much as all of us can. But you really get to the point, and I've said this multiple times, I just don't care anymore if you believe what I'm telling you. It does not affect me at all, and it definitely doesn't affect what we found at this point.
Yeah.
Right, Joe? I mean, isn't that
Absolutely.
pretty much, yeah, because like we started our presentations, we're not here to make you believe anything. We're here to present the data. You make up your own conclusions at the end of that. That's on you. And if you do want to know more, you come over and we'll point you in the right direction. We won't point you in a direction and say, this is the truth. We'll point you in a direction and say, here you go. There's the rabbit hole. It's a long way down.
Well, anyone that says that they're presenting the truth is in this field, the paranormal field is full of shit.
Well,
See, Brandy brings up a point too, and it's really common. The specifically with the weather stuff. It's hard to pick and choose what is really fact and what's
she's
fiction,
right.
because you've got cloud seeding is a real
Very real
thing.
Very real.
And then you've got, on the other hand, some very sci-fi stuff. That
AF 2025 was a very real document. It was created. And it was a theoretical document, though. But does that mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible. It's theoretically possible. Atmospheric lensing is absolutely possible. Was it done to steer hurricanes? I don't know. I kind of doubt it, to be honest with you, but would I put it by anyone? No, not at this point. Humans are fascinating.
Ashley said, I practice sharing if I'm wearing a Mothman shirt and a stranger takes notice. I tell them I've seen it, and then they want to hear more, and some don't. I just, even the ones that don't, I would just tell them.
Just do it.
I'd be like, you will hear my Mothman story.
I'm going to puke Mothman all over you.
Deucer says, I can't stay but a few, but I wanted to stop in and say hello. I'll be out trying to get a few projects completed. Hey, man.
Sounds great.
I know how that goes.
We'll see you soon, Dewey.
Projects, man. You get on it, brother. It was good to have you hopping in, man.
Mm-hmm.
Spookfest says fake everything. I've even asked debunking people on YouTube to try and debunk my ghost voice, and nope, they can't. It's so hard to debunk, like to debunk evidence in general. You got to really, really want to, because so much evidence is like conjecture. Like what did you hear versus what I hear, especially with EVPs and things like that. Like you're dealing with some stuff that's like, because what you heard could be different from what I hear. It might not be universal, but like you got something. That's the thing. That is the important part. There's an anomaly there, regardless whether it said popsicle or
good point.
Something else. There's an anomaly there that shouldn't have been there in the first place.
That's
whether it
issue.
says popsicle or fried rice, I don't know, but it's there.
Yeah,
Men in Black says, Primate,
great.
you don't know what to believe because we are the Men in Black and we are very good at our job. Linda says, I get laughed at right to my face, but I've learned to deal with ignorance. I tell them to search for themselves.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I've had skeptics that have said stuff. And when you look at them and you say, I don't care, they turn around and walk away. They don't want that. They want to fight. That's what they want. They want to feel important. And when you take away their power by literally saying, I don't care what you think, what you say will not change anything, because I have literally been researching this for X amount of years. And a total stranger is not going to walk up to me and say, this is what this is, without some kind of proof. That's not going to go. Do you think I didn't look into the possibility of this and that? I mean, come on, you got to do better. But that's what you're up against, right, Adam?
Yep. And here's Tony, that guy.
But yeah, I
Teresa
mean,
says, spread the good word. Mothman missionaries.
Children of the Moth, I believe they're called in Fallout, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Paranormal
76?
ambassadors, as we've so claimed ourselves.
I mean, that's the best thing, because what do you guys do? Well, everything. Okay. But no, for real, we need to talk like this. And that's why, that's what this is about. So if you've seen anything or you've experienced anything, just understand the number one thing: you're not alone. That's the whole point. You're not alone, and we're all not alone. There's things going on around us that you just can't possibly even imagine. And it doesn't matter if someone tells you it's real or it's not real. You have to figure that out for yourself. What does that mean to you? What is reality? I don't know.
Ashley says that she does go the Jehovah's Witness method for the Mothman.
Hear the word.
She says, I do.
Moth.
I chase after them. Hear the word of the FBB of the moth. I think that's what that should have been.
The moth.
Hear the word of the moth. I don't know why they call the police, but when they show up, I tell them too. Tommy Swigger says, my son had a friend over last weekend. We were night fishing. He started telling me stories about this black, tall shadow man who shows himself in his home, even had a photo. Wow.
Sure. I mean,
And it
how
says,
many of you
nice
guys?
to see and hear kids tell their stories, not that they know that they can trust me to believe in them.
Yeah. I mean, how many of you guys have had that happen? You know, you've seen things that you can't quite explain.
Yep.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You always question them.
I think the human race is too young to have answers. We really need good questions.
We really, yeah.
Teresa says, I've had plenty of people who are skeptical of my OVNIC experience until they saw it themselves.
Well, yeah, absolutely. When
That
you
was
see
quite
it,
the experience, by the way.
when you see it, you can't deny it. I mean, I know what I'm seeing, but it shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
You know. And speaking of which, I got me a new book. It came in. I suggest anyone who's interested in this phenomena get this book.
Hold it up a little higher.
It's Reality Denied. That is by John B. Alexander. You may have heard me mention his name a few times on this show. If you've watched the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats, it was based on John's work with the CIA. Yeah, you know who he is.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. But the name of the book is Reality Denied, Firsthand Experiences with Things That Can't Happen But Did. There could not be a better title for a book, in my opinion.
Now, if we're going to be doing show and tell on books, I just got this one, but
What'd you
something is
get?
there.
Something is there. Steve?
By Steve Neal.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it has...
Those are his oil paintings, right?
Some of the oil paintings and sketches, some of them even that were on the show sightings. Like
that's
oh, I remember some of those.
Yeah, especially the one there in the middle.
Well, this one over here on the right. That was, yeah, I remember those.
But these are his creations and his work and behind the scenes, you know, in Hollywood and such like that. And his experiences. I mean, he made the movie, but something is there on YouTube. Go check it out. He's a good friend.
Terry McCullough says, I had a weird thing happen Tuesday night. I took my dogs out around 6 p.m. and heard what sounded like an empty oil drum hit with a hammer from the woods across from my house. That is a very, very common thing to have happen. It's very common in Bigfoot experiences to hear like a car door slam.
The metallic sound, right? The weird metallic sound that people hear. It's it's definitely something that happens, and it's, you know, it's a little weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a little odd out there. So, but what can it actually be? That's the question. It's just like having any kind of scary experience. Sometimes you just have to experience things for yourself. Actually, there are so many people out there looking for a safe place to share your story. And that's what Linda just said. And Linda, that is exactly why we created the place that we created.
Yeah.
That's why we continue to do what we do.
Teresa says, oh, speaking of kids, Joe, those kids from your Bigfoot talk showed up at my event a couple weeks ago and they remembered everything you told them. Well, good.
Awesome.
It has a way of sticking in there, doesn't it?
That was such a good talk, Joe.
Oh, thanks,
that's
man.
The thing.
Appreciate it. It was fun.
It's definitely something.
Pat says, I'm skeptical, but if you said you saw it, I do believe you.
Yeah, I mean,
which is why you're part of the collective, man.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's that live issue they were talking about kicking in.
What the heck was that?
Well, I have no idea.
That is the second time that's happened on this show.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
That was interesting.
I think we need to gather more money for fart jars. It sounds like the Men in Black are suffocating without enough farts. I mean, honestly,
There's definitely something.
If you are going to be at the Mothman workshop this weekend, please donate $50 to get your own personalized fart jar that I will personally make and produce and give to you. Larry Hose is the proud owner of the very first Adam Good fart jar for the Men in Black.
So this, what is this? A donation to the Men in Black?
Yeah, it's a donation. It's a donation for a memento. If the Men in Black ever show up, you can
the Men in Black show
give
up.
them
That's
that.
what they're getting.
It's like, oh, I know you're suffocating here. Here's your fart jar. And they'll be like, wonderful. I can breathe again.
Teresa says, I'm really intrigued with this whole metal sound, though. We used to hear that at my grandma's all the time, and I just assumed that there were kids up on the hill partying. Now I wonder. Well, this metal sound has been around for ages. Ron and I have heard it out in the forest ourselves.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a car door slamming or like the old metal doors, like back when cars were cars, you know?
Yep.
And it sounds like one of those doors slamming or somebody smacking one of those doors. You hear that metal reverberation. Tommy up above here said that, let me see if I can find it, because there was a bunch of people that commented like as soon as the MIB showed up and took our podcast. Can't find it. Anyway, Tommy said that he thinks it's some of these interdimensional type Bigfoots coming in and out, which has been a theory for some time. And it's not just that the interdimensional Bigfoots could be coming in and out. It could be the sound of what's happening when one of these dimensional rifts open. Chelsea Winchell. Hopefully I got your name right.
Winchell.
I saw and filmed something weird in the sky. If you
tell us, let's hear it.
Let us know.
Let's hear it.
So the thing is, like, you know how when we turn on a light, like incandescent, real old light bulbs, like the OG light bulbs, incandescents, even if you don't have a switch, it still makes the click sound because it's the ignition of the coil. Light makes a sound, and light makes a sound when it strikes a surface. It's actually measurable. You can put extremely sensitive microphones against walls, and we turn a light on in the middle of a room, you can actually hear the of the light hit the wall. So if these portals, which you would assume generate a crap ton of energy, right? When they open, they're going to make a noise. It was a few months ago. Can I send it in? Absolutely. Send it over. We will take a look. Yeah. It's wildandweirdwv.com, or you can send it to our Facebook, the Facebook page, Wild and Weird West Virginia, or Wild and Weird Radio, either one. Brandy says there are times that I feel my big brother around me. I haven't felt him in a while. Night before last, a huge black bear was right outside my kitchen window, and I felt and knew it was my big brother. Nice. That is a very personal kind of an experience, Brandy. And you know, there's a lot of people who have those experiences with deceased loved ones coming to them in the forms of wild animals and birds. And it's not uncommon. That's especially in Appalachia. That has been a historic Appalachian kind of thing, that if like a cardinal comes and visits you, or some kind of unusual for your area or your proximity, some kind of a wild animal just shows up and just hangs out peacefully and then meanders off, that it could have been, the spirit of a loved one coming to visit you just to say, hey.
Yeah. A lot of people actually have experienced that. It's very, very common, honestly. It can also be other things. I mean, call it for what it is. That's the weird thing about what we're talking about, because some of this stuff literally blurs the lines. The lines get blurred, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that that's one of the reasons that they don't talk about it. I think because some of these things happen, it's just so weird that they rationalize it out of their head, or they're just like, no one's going to believe this. I don't even believe it myself. So Spookfest. I have bells ring at my house. We have a few bells around the decoration, but they're in a case and I can still hear them once in a while. Bell sounds,
That's really cool.
metallic sounds, these are common. No one knows why. Frequency,
My grandma in one of the curio cabinets would hang, you know, the old handbells.
no, yeah.
She had a couple of those that she had actually hung, and on random occasions you would hear the ding.
Yeah.
And she hung them just for that purpose.
I have a couple desk bells for that particular reason.
So I guess we associate cardinals with deceased loved ones. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Whoa. Oops, I just dropped something.
Spookfest says, did you see Skinwalker Ranch got 1.6 gigahertz through the mountains like a portal?
Yep, I did see that. And wow is all I can say about that. That was interesting. For those who didn't see it, they literally went on one side of the hill where they had originally saw previously what looked like a UAP drop down into the rock, into the mesa, and then several seconds later appear over here on the other side and shoot out of the mesa. Well, they got the idea that they were going to go over and push a 1.6 signal through on one end and see if it came out the other. Now, there's mountains. You and me both know how this works. You should not be able to get anything to come through. If you go over there and you turn on your radio, you're behind a mountain.
Unless it's hollowed out somehow.
Unless it's hollowed out somehow. But as soon, and there's no delay, as soon as Travis hit the transmit button, they picked it up on the receiver, and they didn't just pick it up on 1.6, guys. They picked it up on what, to me, they said 1.6, but looking at the spectrograph, it looked to me that it came across on resonance. So there was actually 3 or 4 different peaks that were coming up. So I believe that those were the harmonics of the 1.6 that drifted backwards. I don't know for sure, but I think that's what it was because they only showed the screen for like a couple seconds. But it was nonetheless very fascinating. That experiment was very interesting. It'll be hard to fake that.
Lotus Flower said, I had a friend who had passed who was a bird watcher, and one day standing by the window thinking about him, a sparrow came right up and hovered.
Yep, this happens too. I mean, we've heard it with, you know, other birds that we won't mention. Someone just did.
Yeah, hubby had an owl crash into his rig this morning.
Hopefully
the windshield's okay.
Hopefully the owl's okay.
That's not good.
I just assume, and when it hits something that big, it's not.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'd rather.
Yeah, we can hope.
Yeah.
Pat says maybe there's a hole in the mountains at Skinwalker Ranch. They did find were they shooting it through the mountain where they got that like void?
No, this was in the area where the portal. I think the portal was at. Gotcha. And yeah, it's very interesting. It's the part of the mesa, I believe, that lit up during they had the native ceremony out there, which was just the most fascinating. I think it's one of the most fascinating episodes I've ever seen. And while they were drumming, you actually see the mesa start glowing on top in that area. And then something comes out of it. It's really cool. Birds aren't real, allegedly. Huh? Okay.
Fish Belly brings up a really good point here. Sincere paranormal experiences and confessions of religious faith both are met with ridicule.
Yeah.
And it's because the intangibility.
I think that's probably part of it. Yeah, Joe. I know that a lot of people, especially with the UFO stuff and with the, you know, the personal experiences, they'll get on the bandwagon of show me the proof, show me the proof, show me the proof, show me the proof. Well, I can show you the data. Yeah. That's not proof for you. It's proof for us because we know what the data is actually doing. It's saying there's something here. We didn't tell you what it was. We never said that it was an alien. We never said that it was a Pleiadian or this or that. That's the believers that do that. We're saying that there's an anomaly here, and that anomaly seems to exhibit some form of intelligence. So you can call that whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. And I really don't think
Tommy says birds are AI spies.
they may be, Tommy.
Spookfest says I have birds. So
yeah, there you go.
I am a bird.
But
Ron has an AI spy that lives in their room that he broke many, many moons ago playing Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
He gave that bird war trauma.
Yeah, that bird has PTSD. He used to do the gunships. Like he would do them really good. He'd be like reload gun and reload. He did the reload too. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I thought Joe, you were going to say that Ron broke it with the ukulele, and I can understand.
No,
not yet.
No.
Give it time. He'll be there.
But yeah, so
great.
I think
it's
one of our
meaner than fire, but he's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a nice little bird. He likes to cuss a lot. You know.
Goddamn ukulele.
I don't know. He just does. He cusses. That's all I can tell you. He's a cusser. He's a pirate. He's pirate.
Lotus Flower says, unless you're willing to believe, you will never get it, even if the information is based on facts.
There you go. And I think that is an accurate. That's very accurate. Because there's
Jamie Snell says birds are a creation of Disney Imagineering.
There you go. I think you're right. I think that there's so many people who want it to fit into a category.
They do.
And that's where we get into issues. And sometimes we're saying the same thing. It's just that an argument ensues. And
I'm guilty of it. Like, I'm guilty of wanting things to fit in categories, which is why, like, I want to compartmentalize things. I want to keep things in certain boxes because for me, it helps me analyze those particular events better because I'm not trying to lump them in with a million other things. And I can see from a skeptic's point of view, I can understand to a degree, but especially with the modern way things go with the internet and the lack of concise typing, you know, like if you go to some of these pages that have encounter sightings, like they're very, very hard to read sometimes. And even though you can understand them, it's, you know, it's tough. It's tough to get through it all. It's tough to wade through it all. Then you get into some of the other comments and whatnot. Spookfest says, me and my friend in Maine driving home from the movies Harry Potter, we saw an owl so big it covered the windshield and then stood up on the wood and looked at us like WTF and then flew away.
Oh, my dear friend, that was not an owl. But
nope.
That's good that you think it was. And you're not alone. There are multiple accounts of those giant owls out there. And they also come over into other fields, not just into the strange and the paranormal and the contact fields.
Yeah, we even have Chick-fil-A, which would be AI robot filet. Dave's big spicy robot AI sandwich.
Donna Ho says, I interpret owls as good omens, at least for me anyway.
Well, they have been for us. So I haven't had an issue with one.
What if it's not an owl?
Exactly. And that's where we get into the perceptions and, those kind of things.
Lotus Flower says, if you look closely, many people are angry because you're rocking their version of reality. They're fearful but won't admit to it, and they'll fight to the end. Yeah, it's called ontological shock.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That is the purest definition of ontological shock. You want it to fit into that category so bad that you will defend it fitting into that category. It's got to be this.
Yes, each Thanksgiving we gather to eat freshly cooked up scrap pile complete with chunk oil dressing. Yes. Has anyone ever looked at a bird flying above their car that looked injured, but when a bright LED looking flash comes from its chest belly area?
No, can't say I have. No,
I can't say that I've had that happen, Sarah.
No.
Linda says, I've been surrounded by owls 2 times here.
That's,
In the last time we counted, there were 7.
Wow. Well,
D
Linda,
says, what exactly
I'd love
are
to hear
these
more about
giant
that.
owls?
I would really refer you to the work of Mike Cleland. We had him on the show, and it was a very lengthy and very informative episode. His work has pretty much, I think there are no experts, right? But I would say that if there were one on the subject of owls and UFOs and contact, he would be it. He's done more work than anyone on it and has gathered more data on it than anyone. I think it compiles somewhere around over 1,000 pages at this point, if you get all the books. But they are physical, and then there are ones that are absolutely not physical. And it seems to be a device of some sort, almost like a demonic device that's geared toward a certain symbolism to make you think about something, synchronicities. There's deeper messages to it. And then there's other times when it is literally a real owl, but it just happens to show up at a synchronous time, right, Adam?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
There's a lot of
And
synchronicity going
a lot of
on with
synchronicities.
the owls and what goes on around them.
Yeah.
Lisa asked, what was the size of the largest known owl? That would be the Blaskin's fish owl. They're a Russian species and Asian species. They got like a 6.5 foot wingspan and stand of roughly 2.5 to 3 feet tall. It's about think like the size of an eagle, basically.
About 3 feet, yeah. But we don't have those. So if you saw those,
Thank you.
It was a zoo escapee if you saw it.
Yeah, boy.
The largest we have is the great horned owl, and they boast about a 5 foot wingspan. Really impressive when you see those too, because especially full grown adult females, they'll plop down on the road on a rodent or something in front of you, and they're just really impressive. The size is shocking because it's not something you're used to seeing that kind of a size on. You got a owl that landed that's the size of a turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Owls have many different meanings depending on the experiencer's belief system.
Yeah. And it's not just that. I think that a lot of this has to do with the experiencer's belief system. In fact, it almost seems like some of this phenomena is tailored around the belief system of that particular experiencer. And possibly that is to make it more comfortable for the experiencer. We don't know.
Pat's secretly a barn
No,
owl.
it's just the sun on the door.
Very possible. Yeah.
Donna Ho says, well, I'm talking about regular owls that I've encountered. I've rescued 2 that have been hit by cars. And if an owl came watching me or following me, I imagine it would question that.
Yeah.
I would question it too, especially if one followed you up and down a ridge. Any kind of bird that would do that brings questionable
especially if it actually goes from one location to the next location and follows a particular person while something's happening. It's a fascinating hypothetical experience that could happen and possibly may have. And, people will get to see that at some point in the future. But the thing is, it's very strange that we have these things happening in the woods, right? Ghost possums, owls, other birds. And are they? And what it brings back to my memory is a few years ago when Nick Pope said something. Remember when he was talking about the birds, and he said sometimes birds aren't birds, that they think that they could be basically extraterrestrial drones. And I thought at the time, wow, that's crazy. But if you think about it, what better camouflage if you were really trying to not be seen, if you're really trying to not cause an issue with someone, then native wildlife.
Spookfest says, I grew up in the Bridgewater Triangle. There are thunderbirds, not crane or hawk. I've seen it with my wife and others in the area. A lot of thunderbird reports come from out of the New England area and then out into the Midwest. Pat says, I have a reoccurring dream about talking into my attic and coming eye to eye with an owl. It's very unnerving when it happens. That's not an owl, Pat.
That's probably not an owl, Pat.
That was
Jamie Snell said, Woodsy owl,
You're
give a
going to
hoot,
the
don't
attic
pollute
for a
owl is technically the largest. Yes, that is a 6-foot tall owl with probably a 10-foot wingspan.
Say again, Adam.
No, you were probably drawn to the attic for a reason, Pat.
Right. Right. That's the thing about the owls. Typically, they're like a messenger, right? And I think Mike said, if you experience it, what is it?
No, it's. Well, I mean, like if someone goes eye to eye with an owl, it's just the way that you're trying to cope with coming eye to an eye with a gray, let's say. Like that whole scanning your brain, like getting up in your face.
Yeah.
Instead of remembering a gray, it was, in your brain,
an owl.
Some people see
or
clowns.
deer. Clowns. Yeah, exactly. Which would terrify me. That's why, owls, deers. That's better.
Brandy said that my friend and my sister both swear they've seen pterodactyls. Then Lisa said, we have a couple here that are as big as eagles. I'm assuming that's owls. So those are likely your great horned owls. Octopus with no friends says, ropin, a.k.a. modern pterodactyl, my favorite cryptid. The ropin's a neat one. Especially the ropin is pretty cool because you've got, speaking of Clash of the Titans there.
That's Bobo there. Bobo.
The ropin is all of the drawings look like Ray Harryhausen pterodactyls.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that sticks out most to me. And then the light on the belly just seems more UFO than cryptid.
Which goes back to that LED light.
Yeah. But this is like a LED light that's the size of a car.
Yeah.
Ashley says, I saw a cardinal today. People used to say Mothman was an owl, not an owl I saw.
Yeah. Yeah. Not an owl.
We don't need any clowns coming around.
No, we don't. I agree with that.
Spookfest says, yep, glad others are saying so. When it's over 15 feet, it's no turkey. When the first thing you notice is a giant shadow on the ground, then you see it. All types of birds, not unusual when you do see it. LW says, I've come to this community having no unusual experiences, but I know there are much we don't know, and people need someone to listen and support them as they process and cope.
Well, the thing is, you could, and now you know where to go, and that's okay. That's the good thing. You don't have to be an experiencer to have some compassion for someone who's telling you a story. You don't have to listen. I mean, you don't have to believe anything anyone tells you. Just listen to it, and then maybe, who knows, 5-10 years in the future, it might mean something to you then. And then you're going to be like, I wish I would have listened to that. Well, if you did listen to it, it's really going to mean something to you because it might be the piece of puzzle that you need to help work you along to whatever path you're on at that time.
Ashley Hilt said the pterodactyl sightings are neat because we now know they don't actually look the way we think. Exactly.
Yep.
No, they're horrifying.
No, like with what you were saying, Ron, about like, needing some time and all that. I mean, like the Pat's memory, there may be more stuff coming out for him later on.
Yeah, you never know.
I mean, why do you think he's into this community and friends with all of us?
Yeah, I mean, that's the weird thing about this. We do see those kinds of patterns, and it does sound crazy, but it is what it is. It's data. I mean, it doesn't have to make sense. until it does.
And it might be very important, his field of study, his profession,
Right.
for that digression and progression.
Wow, you guys are blowing the chat up. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Lotus Flower says many ancient statues are humanoid owls.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen several effigies of these human-sized owls or humans with owl heads.
And you know what's just amazing about this? What's really amazing about this is that about every month, there's an episode on here. Owls come up, and the whole conversation turns.
It's not every month. It's like
owls.
every 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's like, but it's never boring.
No.
Everybody always has something new. They've always got something that they learn. It is the most amazing thing that you could possibly. You don't expect that. It is not what you expect. When you come to this show, this is not what you expect to see. And yet here we are talking about owls, and we do it so frequently.
Well, I mean, don't get hung up on the idea of the owl, the symbolism, the iconography of the owl. It's just a symbol for the door that you're supposed to go through.
Right.
Don't stand there and stare at the, men's room door, just staring at the little figure. You're going to have to go pee sometime.
That's a good point, man.
Well, Lisa just shared some nightmare fuel. Said we had a 3-foot doll that would turn its head and watch you. We would stick it in the corner with its face in the wall, and it would be turned back around within a few minutes.
See that right there? That's why I don't like them. That's why I don't like dolls.
Nice.
Right there.
Donna says, I did have an experience with an extra large raven, though. This thing was bizarrely huge, even though it went straight. I went straight indoors and watched it from a window. I did not want to be out there.
They're big.
The ravens that I saw when we were hiking the Grand Canyon were mind-blowingly big and equally brave. Like, I would be sitting at our picnic area, and this raven that, and not just one, but 3 or 4 would come in, and they would sit there and basically beg for food at the campsite.
Mm-hmm.
And they were huge. Biggest raven, like they broke records for what raven should actually be. And that is kind of sort of out in your neck of the woods there, Donna. So Tony says those dolls are powered by demons.
The ravens, they
Ashley,
live forever too, and
I
get to
did.
be huge.
I had a hawk do the same thing, and I didn't follow it, and I feel so bad because I knew it was going to lead me to a special treasure. I played Skyrim.
Ashley says had a crow try to get me to follow it. Ron had a crow try to get him to follow it. Last time I followed the crow, it gave me one of its feathers.
No, it was a hawk that tried to get me to follow it.
You always follow.
Yep.
Don't not follow.
Lotus Flower says Alaskan ravens are huge. Yeah. I've seen photos of the ravens up in Alaska. They're gigantic.
Hey,
just not like everything.
You
else
don't. There is the one rule, Adam, that you don't follow, and I think everybody knows what we don't follow. That's what we don't follow.
Yeah, I mean, they basically just melt you into a little pile of fat.
Don't follow them. You'll become one.
No, you won't become nothing. You'll just be a pile of fat. That's it. You're just disintegrated into a pile of fat.
Pat says, how many miles to the soul do those demon-possessed dolls get?
Oh, man.
Oh, they get quite a many. I mean, a couple million.
Angie said that if I died, Tony said he's going to have me cremated and put me in a creepy doll. That's fitting.
I mean, it can be done.
Donna said, yes, I live near the Grand Canyon. Yeah. And honest to God, the reason I think those ravens are so big over your way is because they get fed by people and they're eating human food, high fat, high protein foods, and they're just freaking gigantic. It was unreal. It was one of the coolest and kind of irritating experiences I've ever had. Cause like they come up, they'd hang out, you'd give them something to eat, thinking that was going to get them to go away because they're already begging for it. And then they're like, nope, bringing my friends now. And then you're covered up in freaking ravens.
I have to going back to Angie, I think it's probably in her favor that women live longer than men. So
Pat says, don't follow the lights. Ashley said, I don't know. He was pretty shady. He had a shovel in one wing and a knife in the other. I might have made the right choice.
You might have. You probably did.
No, he needed help burying a body, Ashley.
Lisa said, what's with all the turkey buzzards lately? They're everywhere. Those turkey buzzards, some of them aren't turkey buzzards right now. Some of them are
Mothman.
Black buzzards.
Oh, no.
And it's their mating season. So they're all over the place right now. Turkey buzzards have already kind of gotten into the roosts and whatnot, but you might be having a big blow up of turkey buzzards up your way too. Then Lotus Flower says the experiencer's reactions and thoughts are being monitored by the source when we encounter owls in somewhat unusual circumstances.
Yep.
That's what Mike said.
Yep. Wow.
Senior Spookfest says turkeys outnumber people in the Bridgewater area, and they're the biggest bird around. So we all know something bigger. Yeah. Talking about the Thunderbird stuff.
So, you guys, what are you thinking about this? Do you, how do we deal with the fact that we do have experiences that others demand proof for? Do you care? I want to know, do you actually care?
I don't know, Tony. I think you're going to have to complete that one if Angie does pass. I think we won't let you live it down.
Oh, well, this is possible. This is very possible, actually.
Terry said, from what I've seen, I think orbs may be chasing us. Ashley says, a friend of mine caught an awesome photo the other day. It was a hawk that had a squirrel and a turkey vulture patiently for the scraps. There's a good form of symbiosis right there. Lotus Flower says, we are the chosen. Pat says, I care. Lisa says, I don't care. People's opinions are irrelevant to me.
We care a lot.
Tommy says, I don't care what anyone thinks. Linda said, you have to step out and get people to share, and it helps.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy said, I don't care what anybody thinks about what I think or what I've experienced.
Yeah.
Andrew just says, yeah, I want to hunt.
Oh, well, everyone's got to have a hobby. But that's a good point. I mean, if we care so much about this, then we shouldn't be doing what we're doing. It's just that simple.
Donna Ho says, I don't care anymore. It took until I was in my 60s before I didn't care anymore.
Yep.
Nikki Bennett says, I know what I've seen and I don't need the validation of others. Brandy says, well, I mean, I don't care if they don't believe me or understand me.
Yeah, exactly.
Ashley says, I care about everyone here. Oh.
Now, would you quit?
Sarcasm.
Tommy says, the naysayers will have an experience in their lives at some point, and they'll have to come to the realization.
Well, not only that, they'll have to come to the realization. They'll have to realize that they burned a few bridges along the way. That's going to be the problem. That's why you can't do that. You have to be open to the possibilities, no matter how strange they may be to you.
Lotus Flower says these experiences are a form of evolution.
Possible.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Angie says working on not caring what people think.
You'll get there.
D says, I've seen enough weird stuff to have 1,000% confidence to tell my experiences to people who might laugh at me.
1,000%.
Oz says, I keep quiet because of my job. I need my friends here, though. They keep me sane. Yeah, that was my boat for the longest time. I kept quiet because I had a top secret clearance. It's not something you talk about. If you have a TSC, you're going to lose it. And that was what I was getting paid to do at the time. Teresa says, I care to a point, but I still blab away to anyone who will sit long enough to hear my stories. Asher's Creation says, I don't have cares, but at the same time I do. And that's,
and that makes sense.
Especially with somebody that is your age and is as young as you are, but still interested in all this stuff. It completely makes sense because, there's social repercussions, which I know probably don't matter to you a whole lot, but still on some level they do. And it sucks when you have like a group of people who you thought were in your friend group or whatever, and you say something that is what would be considered taboo, like some kind of these experiences. And, it hurts because then you find out that the people you thought were your friends now think you're crazy.
I always
But
try to say
it also
things-
sorts out the friend group real quick.
Oh, it does.
I try to say things that are taboo all the time to keep my friends list pretty, thin, and keep the real diehards around.
Yeah. Most Bookfest says, giving up on trying to prove anything. It's just for myself now. I still hope to show real activity, but here's the thing. That's the point. I mean, it really only matters to you, and it doesn't matter. I mean, we can bring all this, like I said, we can bring all the data to the table, put it on the table, and show you something's happening, but we can't tell you what that is. And some of these people want to know exactly what it is. Well, I think it's just the fact that you're not going to know, and you need to be okay with that.
Well, look who jumped into the chat.
Oh, it's a ghost.
Jeffrey, good to have you, brother. We miss you, man. We need a phone call, dude. I miss hearing your voice, man. Miss you a ton.
I don't.
So
Jeff,
he said,
I don't miss you.
Speaking of birds, within the past 6 months, I've had 3 experiences with eagles. They have followed my truck and led me for distances up to 2 miles. That's awesome. That's really, really cool, man. You need to be watching the ground to see if one throws a feather for you. Just don't tell anybody if you pick it up.
I wouldn't pick it up. Nope.
Never.
Don't underestimate the power of self-delusion. You might have the truth slap you in the face and still convince yourself it was owls. And that is good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Then Linda says, people that used to laugh at me and tease me now come and ask questions. I've talked with them, and honestly, they have their own stories and feel relieved to share.
Yep. Happens.
Tony says, I usually don't care about what anybody thinks of me. I came about my opinions and positions honestly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do your own research.
Lisa says, what I dislike is people who think they know so much more than me and act like they always have bigger and better story to tell.
Yep. Same.
There's a lot of those out there. A lot. A whole lot. Tommy says, I grew up in a haunted house. To me, it's a normal thing to have paranormal activity and sightings of the unknown. So that's why I don't care what people think about me. And anyone who knows me knows, part 2 down the road. So he's still typing. So part 2's not there yet. Donna says, I went on the show My Paranormal Experience and mentioned it and mentioned, Donna, I'm touched. Deep inside, in a weird, creepy way. 100%. Just know that.
You just can't take the thank you and just say that, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's so cool, though.
Thank
you, Donna. That is really, really cool.
Anyway, yeah, thanks, Donna. That is amazing. Above and beyond. Thank you so much for helping spread the good weird. We need more people to do that, and we need people to hit that like and that share and that subscribe button. We need to get more and more people in here to hear these testimonies, literally, and to create this disclosure. Disclosure starts with all of us. It doesn't start out there, with the government. They're never going to tell you anything. But when we tell ourselves these things and we start hearing our own words echoed in someone else's story, boy, you talk about a validation. That'll wake you up real quick.
Rob Posey says, I normally ask why they don't believe people have seen UFOs because the government tells you they're not real. Our government would never lie to you. Why would they?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Except for now the government's almost flip-flopped on that. It's now like the ball's in your court to prove that they're not real. Asher's Creation says 2 things. Me and my mom saw a thunder crow once, and I thought of my classes what a cryptid was once. Oh, you taught one of your classes what that's cool. Very cool. Oz says there are corners in this community that mock anything that sniffs of high strangeness. They're a bunch of cowards. They're frightened by it. And then they claim science is on their side. But
oh, excuse me.
Trackway says, unfortunately, there's a larger number of enthusiasts that just keep stuff to themselves, and some have stopped speaking of their adventures. Yeah. And I understand that 100%. Like, I get where a lot of them come from. I get the experience that is on the negative end of things that causes them to go into that route. And eventually they come back around. Don Keating was one of them. Don Keating retired at one point, but then came back out of it a few years later because, you know, people still went to him with questions and went to him with reports.
Same with Steve Neal.
Yeah. John Kill defined a skeptic as someone who hasn't yet seen a UFO.
That's the best. That's the best right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best John Kill quote that I've heard in recent memory. Finding says it's the double edge of this field. Someone wants to make $40 per book, sell disproving anyone's experience. Yeah. And there's whole Facebook pages devoted just to that. And it's so painfully annoying because it's all like daggers. There's never any kind of like, well, maybe it's possible. There's no pontification. It's just straight to the, thanks, Larry. You're awesome.
Donator over here. Donator.
Keeping it free, keeping it.
Okay.
Hey, you're getting better. There's no fret buzz. You're getting it.
Quit torturing that cat.
It's the cat gut. The cat's already been tortured.
Actually, that's a synthetic, and it's
oh yeah, they don't use cat gut hardly on anything other.
It's a really cool new synthetic that they just started making for ukes, and man, it's really cool.
Is it the one that's supposed to like replicate sinew?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing you've ever found anymore that's made out of like intestine is going to be on some of the older, or not even older, but some of the French and Italian fiddles.
Oh yeah,
I say fiddles. Yes,
fiddles.
I didn't.
You
say
mean violins, but
because I'm Appalachian.
It's a fiddle for you folks.
That's
it's
right.
A violin for us over here, but it's a fiddle for you folks.
Linda Sigmund says sometimes telling our experiences gets overwhelming. We just have to learn to pace ourselves. I still have PTSD, but mostly under control.
Well, you have to have PTSD if you're an experiencer. It's just part of it. And I think that's where a lot of people get the hang up. They're like, oh, there's something wrong with me. I don't want to believe this. You know, it's real.
Will Ron be playing music inside the TNT domes this weekend?
Probably not this week. But
no. You really should bring the electronic doodad.
No,
you know how cool that would sound inside the dome?
Yeah.
Well, what's really interesting, what Seth is referring to is that Seth and I went into one of the domes. I played music off my phone.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
And there was no echo.
What?
That's weird.
It didn't echo.
It didn't echo?
No.
How did it not echo?
Which, were you in the dome that had the hole in the roof?
No.
Okay.
It didn't echo, or it didn't reverb? Because it's more of a reverb than an echo, really.
Well, whatever. You know, it didn't reverb.
What? That's weird.
Huh. Oh, okay. Well, we need to test that again using your phone.
Yeah.
So we'll use your phone as a test.
I think that's what Seth was referring to, that maybe we should try playing something acoustic as well.
I understand.
Different stuff.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
Brandy says, I get jealous when I hear and see those of you experience the more psychic, highly intuitive stuff. I can sometimes, but not on demand like some can.
Well,
Practice that muscle, Brandy.
Yeah, you got to practice it for real. You really got to practice, and it's
meditation is the key.
You also have to admit your failure. I mean, that's the other thing. You can't let your ego get in the way. I mean, that's Joe McGonigal right there. He's right about that. You can't let your ego get in the way. If you let your ego get in the way, you're going to lie to yourself. You're going to fool yourself. You'll start believing those lies, and pretty soon, you're a
televangelist.
No, you pretty much you think you can do anything. I mean, that's the whole point, and that's not how it works, because
you're a televangelist selling your tears in jars.
Well,
you need to give $50 for our fart jar so we can save the men in black. Oh Lord.
Oh boy.
Ron to play the didgeridoo in the igloo. I say tuned, folks. You don't want to miss this. I'll bring the didgeridoo. I've got a 6-foot didgeridoo. A real one made from a banyan tree root.
Mm-hmm. You should.
We can bring that out and whip it out. I can strike it up. My kids love it. Like, they love hearing me play it.
Joe's going to whip
pulled out of the closet and started going, trying to figure out what it was. And I started playing it, and like they ran at first because had no idea that was the noise that was going to come out the other end. But they thought it was really fun. Tony said, give me a shot at the acoustics in those igloos.
Right.
Jen says, time for me to fall into something comfy. PJs and find the inside of my eyelids. Looking forward to meeting some of you this weekend. Jen, we love you. Good night. Get you some rest. We'll see you this weekend.
Good night.
Pat says, acoustic guitar covers of Crazy Train live at the TNT Dome this weekend. Good point, Ron. I was saying, Matt, I couldn't feel that my brother was around me anymore. Then he shows up big time, like dummy. I'm here all the time. Lisa says, I got my ocean, Jasper. Let's bring on the bacon.
I see what you're doing. So,
Finding the Trackway says, should I bring my bagpipes?
No.
You should
Is that a real question?
Always bring the bagpipes. So we hear that there's a lot of people out there who have actually had these experiences, and the normal question is, how many of you outside of this group or outside of your family have actually went out and told those experiences? We're seeing more people do it now, but that's not how it used to be.
Right.
It's not how it used to be at all. And
it's family tradition to tell other people. For me,
well, yeah. And you see these people, they're like, oh, you guys make fun of this, you're laughing about this, you can't be serious. No, we're dead serious. And that's why we have to laugh, because some of this stuff, if you can't laugh, you're not going to make it. It's just that crazy. I mean, it's just out there. And I don't use crazy as in the term of someone's crazy. I mean, what you come across is literally going to challenge your concept of reality at times, right, Joe?
Yeah, 100%. Like, we've got to get to the point where people feel comfortable. Eventually it's going to happen at large scale, because something's going to happen. But till then, there's got to be a way to communicate it. And with the skeptics, one of the ways that we can communicate is we can just show them the data, because that's really what they ask for. Where's the data? Where's the proof? Well, you can consider data proof or not, but here it is. You can make up your own mind about it. If you want to view it through 100% skeptical lens, then that's up to you. But like, here's the data, and here's the fact that we should not be having some of these anomalies. Can you explain the anomalies? If yes, please do, because I'd love to hear it.
Right. I mean, that's the thing.
Because we also have to be open to the fact that some things could just happen.
Yeah. No matter if we want them to happen or be happening or be real for that matter,
Yeah.
they are happening. There are things that are indeed out there that are taking place.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh. Well,
This
I give them about, what do you think? Like 4 or 5 seconds or so? 'Cause it's
No.
Huh.
Or
what in the
Okie
world?
dokie.
This is getting old, man.
Oh man.
So, getting harassed by the Men in Black. Aside from that, let's get back onto our soapbox here for a little bit.
Confounded interdimensional ensemble interface.
Nice try, boys. Here's what I've got. So, what should we do? That's the question. What should we do? I know we
Apparently a
should.
square card.
Apparently, I know we should share our experiences and whatnot, right? But
Yeah.
how do we go about that? Like, like Ashley was just joking. Like, I guess, like, do you want to hear my, my Mothman encounter? Should you do it to that extent? Like, where do you bring that up? I'm going to ask you, Adam. Like, where does one bring these kind of things up into a public setting? Appropriately, I should say. You can't be sitting at a dinner, I guess, and just be like, aliens came last night. I mean,
no, you very
I
much
totally can
can
do
be
that,
sitting
but
at
most
a
people
dinner.
can't. Yeah.
You very much well can. I mean, it's just who you are, who your audience is.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
I mean, that's something for either you to find out or not care about. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you don't care, then dinner party conversation can really go off the rails. Like my grandfather, he went out you can write a nonfiction book and
He's
publish
back.
it, and later even say it's actually fiction. I mean, like
Yeah.
nonfiction. I mean, your story can be done through a YouTube. It can be done in a podcast. It can be done coming on this show, like I've done and
Yeah.
professed. It
Oh, yeah,
just
that's
depends
true. And
on
that's true.
it just
And this is
depends.
an open invitation. So we do that, right? I mean, it's open invitation. And if you want to come share your stories, well, look, Tommy did it, and I can promise you, no one on this show has said a negative thing about him or about Adam's experiences at this point. Same way. I mean, you have every right to do that, but no one has done it.
Well, I mean,
And
like in
I
another
think that,
opinion, I mean, like another one of my dear friends. She's pretty big in the field. She went into Reddit and got dragged. It just depends on where you find the community that's accessible to you, that's friendly to you, and that would be something like Wild and Weird, Whitley Strieber's Unknown Country, Steve Neal's sites as well, and all of them can be really good, and people that are trolls are ousted, except for we keep the Men in Black around for some reason. I don't know why.
they're
But
humorous.
But I will say that there is a big surprise coming from me at the Mothman workshop. Something big is happening, and those in attendance will get to enjoy it.
Everybody's going to gather around and just fart in jars. That's the big thing.
It's not just gather
No,
around.
I agree though. I think it's going to be a really good time. We're going to be able. There's some of us who've are going to be in attendance at this one that we've never met in person, and it's going to be really cool just even from that aspect. But I think that we're gonna have some really wild stuff happen, and I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be very interesting.
Well, we can talk a little bit about that. It's okay at this point, because they're going to get to see some of the cool stuff that's going to be happening. We won't talk about all of it, obviously, some new pieces of gear, but we will say this, thanks to you wonderful people and your generous donations, we do have a new piece of gear that we will be debuting at that workshop, and you're going to get to see how it works, and I think you're going to enjoy it. We've actually had a test of that on Adam already, and it seems to operate very well. So, yeah, we're going to conduct some really cool experiments out there, and we're going to see what we can.
Terry McCullough says, why does it seem that many people have multiple strange things happen? And
because that's how it works.
Yeah, we've dubbed it the beacon effect.
That's how it works, Terry. And that's also it's also a perfect camouflage for it. Like, if I can make this story so strange, you won't tell anyone, because they're not going to believe you. If you saw a UFO, if you saw a Bigfoot, if you saw, a Mothman type thing, if you had these experiences and you go out and you tell anyone, oh, and by the way, I threw in orbs just to confuse you even more. And if you go out and tell these stories, people are going to be like, you're crazy. You have no proof. This is just anecdotal data. It's not real. And now it's up to you to prove that this did happen. But the thing is, I don't care if they believe or not, because we actually have gone out. We actually have gathered the data over a period of about 5-6 years, something like that. We've been out in the field, gathering this stuff, and there's enough there. I can go even back farther than that. I mean, some of my first EVPs, that was back in like 2011 or so, whatever. And those were direct answers to questions that were being asked. No one was there. That was enough proof for me at that point. I didn't need any more. So now we're into the process of actually gathering this stuff, putting it onto the table, and letting a broader audience see it, including you guys. And you can figure out what's real and what's not.
Pat asked, does anybody know the weather for Saturday? It's going to be off and on rain. So be prepared for that, but we have contingencies for everything. So we're going to be in good shape. Then Octopus says, we just have to share our experiences when and where we feel comfortable doing so. And people like y'all are the ones doing the real work, opening eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, Octopus. It's good to actually hear that. It's you don't want to live in an echo chamber, but you do want some recognition from time to time. And it's pretty rare. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. It's pretty rare.
Now, that's a double innuendo, isn't it, Pat? That I'd be a good guinea pig.
Yeah.
Are you trying to admit something to me here, Pat?
Asher's Creation says, one day I want to be on the show to share some stories. The door's open anytime, kid. Anytime.
There's no age limit on this show. I mean, we could have a 3-year-old telling us, that they're reincarnated, for all I care.
We've got kids younger than you that listen to this show on a regular basis. There are kids that are in elementary school that we go and we would talk to and spend time with, telling stories about the paranormal and folklore and zoology, and you would be just the next one in the line. I
mean, look at Tanner. He was at our very first workshop. He's been at every single one. It's killing him. He can't be at this one, but he's been at every single one, and now he has his own little K2 meter, and he goes out and he collects data, and it's just amazing to watch, because he's like, he gets that thing going, and there's a light, and it's like, what's causing that? He goes and looks for what's causing that. He doesn't say, oh, it's a ghost. He goes and looks for what's causing that. Oh, could it be that box on the wall? Yeah, it's that box on the wall. Like that is what we want. We want people who actually have that critical thinking ability to be like, oh, that meter's pegging. What does that mean? Does that mean there's a spirit here? Might also mean that there's something else going on that you need to investigate a little further.
Ashley says that made her very happy. She's all giddy saying, let's do it.
Obviously. Yeah.
Say when.
Yep.
Spookfest says, my first experience was a Ouija board planchette moving by itself. And then over the years, all sorts of experiences, UFOs, shadow people, more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a common trait. You do have these paranormal phenomena accompanying some of these UFO experiences, these other cryptid-like experiences. I call them cryptid-like because I don't know if they're true cryptids, right, Joe? I mean, we don't know that they're true cryptids. We could be looking at shapeshifters for all we know at this point. We don't know. And that sounds like science fiction, but that's where we're at with it at this point.
Mm-hmm. Especially with some more of the strange and bizarre cryptids that really don't make sense that get seen.
Yeah.
There's just some time will tell, guys.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Tony says, unsolicited advice, get rid of your welcome mats. Vampires like loopholes. That's why ours at the house used to say go away.
Oh, that's great.
Lisa said, eliminating everything you can to get to the facts.
Yeah.
That is it.
That's what you have to do. And even then, the facts still confuse you. And I think that's where we are with a lot of this stuff, right, Joe? I mean, we've looked at the facts, and the facts look back at us, and they're like, they taunt us at times. At this point, I see the data. It's like little numbers, and they have smiley faces, and they're laughing and pointing at us at times, saying, what are you going to do now?
Lisa said, I still get embarrassed telling people my encounters, but I do it because it's liberating to get it out.
Your encounter is pretty fascinating. And I still want to get you on the show to tell your story to this audience as well, because, and go get the book too. The book's really good. But it's a fascinating account, and it also follows right into the line of what we have been saying about these perceptions and these, whatever this is. It's bigger than one single thing. It's bigger than one single perception.
Yeah, way bigger. There's so much beyond what we can comprehend. That's part of it. Like, we struggle with so many things, and not just us. Like, I'm talking about humanity in general. When we're faced with something that we don't understand, we just kind of blow it off most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Digging into it. And that's what a lot of this stuff is doing. It's testing your, and not even testing, more or less pushing your paradigm, worldview. And it forces a worldview to happen. And it's very, very uncomfortable at times.
It is.
And for everybody involved.
No, if you're thinking,
Pat says reality testing is important for everyone.
Yeah. Whatever reality is, right? I mean, that's where we're at with this at this point.
Well, what I was going to say is, if you're thinking of the universe, you're thinking too small.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa said your mind will only allow you to accept so much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is 100% true. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Tom said, he says, see a white glow walking around the house out of the corner of his eyes. That's interesting. White glows are not typical.
Nope.
Lotus Flower says the chosen are one step closer than the deniers. They will have time to catch up if they're willing. Well, do not be surprised if your big hat religious primate openly condemns this misinformation platform from his broadcast.
So the Men in Black are referring to what we had talked about at the top of the hour there, at the top of the show. The apparently the Pope is going to give a press conference tomorrow about how the church will be dealing with paranormal phenomena, and in particular extraterrestrial visitation. So stay tuned to that. It's going to be a busy news day.
Octopus says, my worldview, put simply, we live in a black humor sci-fi horror movie. I can get on board with that.
Speaking of such, has anybody watched?
What's going on, brother?
What is it, Adam?
Speaking of such, has anyone watched Sasquatch Sunset yet?
I've not.
Negative.
I would have to say there is probably the funniest scene in Sasquatch history in this movie. The road encounter is just comedy gold.
Tom says, I'm collecting evidence for you guys to see and review here.
That's awesome.
Pat says the Space Pope is going to visit the Earth Pope tomorrow.
Well, wouldn't that be something?
Lisa says, okay, so white glows. I see them all the time when I'm first falling asleep. They zoom back and forth across my field of vision, different directions at the same time, so they can't be tracers. Any ideas?
Sometimes. Now, here's a question for you. Do they pulse and come from either like kind of a steady pulse, like left to right, like that? Sometimes that actually is, you're seeing the literal blood in the veins behind your eyes. It can be very soothing too, by the way. Other times it's not. Other times it is hallucinatory in nature, but we don't know where it's coming from. Ike would probably be able to tell you a lot more about that than me.
Yeah.
As far as, the lab work goes and whatnot, but it does appear to take place right before you are falling asleep. Sometimes, what is it? There's also there's an instance where there's actual electricity being generated on the optic nerve, and you actually are seeing light in your eyes behind your closed, eyelids. So yeah, it's very interesting how that works. And what you're saying there, you literally use that with a very powerful meditative device, right, Adam? Just focusing on the continuity of that, just back and forth, and literally almost hypnotize yourself. No pulses, kind of like clouds at times, like a streak at others. Now that is interesting, Lisa. Sometimes they pulse. Okay, so no, that's not what you're talking about. Yeah.
Whenever you turn on the lights, do they stay there?
Larry says collective night at the movies featuring Sasquatch Sunset. Oh God. Terry McCullough says, is the Pope going to pull off his mask and reveal that he's one of the Simpsons aliens?
That's great. That's great.
No, it's just
Lisa said, no, they don't.
Okay.
Okay.
No, they don't.
Mine stay with light. I've been able to interact with them.
Space Pope. I'd watch Space Pope coast to coast right now.
Oh my gosh. Space Pope coast to coast. Now that is what has to be a shirt. That's the one that has to be a shirt.
I think Space Ghost is Space Pope. At least he is in my religion.
Could be.
He is for my religion. Scotty Daddy Matthew McConaughey has Space Pope as
God,
Pope.
Daddy McConaughey. Happy birthday, Adam.
Thank you. Yay.
Blessings from the Sky Daddy right there. And you have blessings from this incredible audience, these incredible listeners and supporters that are out there. And wow, it's it's pretty awesome. I do see them occasionally in the light, but not as consistently as at night. So yeah, that's definitely something on optic nerve going on there.
Let's see.
I had one.
All
that
right,
was
guys, make sure you go over and smash that like button like it owes you money.
Down to only 20% chance of rain now. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's some good news. I got an alert on my weather watch because I've got Point Pleasant tracking. So it still follow the latest email because it's clearing up as the day goes on. But we're follow the current email. That way we're going to be good and in the clear.
Good and in the clear.
I'm not part of this email.
Brandy says, "Happy birthday, fellow Taurian."
Thank you, Brandy.
Many birthday blessings.
Thank you, Linda, and love you too.
Lisa says, "Prepare for anything and everything."
Oh, no, for real. Yeah. Prepare for anything and everything. You will have your minds blown. And what's really cool is you folks who are going to be there, you are going to see some stuff. And I don't mean, well, you might see some weird stuff, but you're definitely going to see some stuff. You're going to have some fun. It's going to be a time to remember. No question about that. It's going to be awesome.
Spookfest says it's whiskey time.
So many cool things that are coming. What could be behind door number 4? I don't know.
Squiggles.
Tom says we have flash flood warnings for Tyler County Saturday. Yeah, it's up north is going to get whacked going into PA area.
So y'all better not be doing that.
Me covered in peanut butter.
Stop it, Larry.
Well, at least you have that big lake to wash off in with all the snapping turtles.
That's right.
Right.
Giant snapping turtle. Yeah.
I hope that dragon makes an appearance again.
Well, that thing's amazing.
Gorgeous.
So for
it's
you
been
who don't,
years since I've seen her, and I think it's really cool that you guys got a chance to see her. I mean, she's a dinosaur.
We just saw her head, and it's massive.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about, guys, is we went out to Point this past weekend, whatever, and we were taking some readings out there to get the baselines. We know what the baselines are, so if anything happens, we know where to look and what's normal, what's not. But you'll get to do that too. But more importantly, we saw a massive snapping turtle. I swear it's the Ogwa. It's out there. It's monstrous. I mean, her head was
real.
Like,
yeah, I will show you guys the hole that she's dug in the bank. That's where I've seen her in the past.
She's big.
But you guys saw her head. I didn't, unfortunately, get to ever catch a good glimpse of her full broad head. I've just seen the nose and everything, but I've seen the whole shell, and she's freaking huge.
Oh yeah, it could totally be. I mean, we were walking along the path and we saw those areas. I'm like, oh my God, if we were in Florida, I would say there's an alligator around here, you know? Yeah. And that's what it looked like where she had been going across the road. It was amazing. She's big.
We got bacon, plus sign, bacon.
Mm-hmm.
We get, let's see. Pat says dinosaurs in the TNT area. Yeah, this is easily like a 50, 60-year-old snapper.
She is.
I saw a rattlesnake with a huge head up there too, about like yay big, swimming out there.
That was when you guys were out there?
Yeah, big snake.
Yeah.
Really big snake.
You guys saw a big rattler when you were out there?
I don't know if it was a rattler. I saw the head. Adam was closer to it. So
yeah, it had the V-shaped head, like like
it was a monster. I was farther back. I was probably about 15, 20 feet behind him, and I could see it. And
like you could see the triangular shape of the head as it swam. Just
it never came up though.
It was following me though.
Oh, it was in the water?
Yeah, it was in the water.
And so that was a massive eastern, most likely, because they can triangulate their head, but rattlesnakes float like you threw a feather on the water.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, they can't. They can't.
Probably Yeah, that
Oh,
would
you
be
know
my
better
guess.
than I, Joe.
I have seen some monster bandits out there, and they're too freaking cool. They'll come
Yeah.
up and if you have a
They
fish,
will.
they'll come up and eat it out of your hand.
Yes, they will. They really will. They'll take it right out of your hand, gentle as you please,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
It is an incredible
Ada
interaction.
says, I don't like snakes. We got bacon.
Well, I think since we're talking about snakes instead of bacon, it's snakes tonight.
It looks like about everybody's got their first one in.
We're good? All right,
Yep.
Here we go.
Yay!
Bacon. The
good
bacons
win.
have it. So from the top, we've got 1, 2.
I was one of them.
Adam was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10.
10. That's
10
pretty good,
bacons.
guys. It's pretty good. Not bad. Put it back in. I'm gonna actually do this one more time, just like this as a blind. I wanna see. So this is a precognition test for you folks. So let's see if you can tell the future, so to speak, right? So what I'm gonna do, don't do anything yet. Wait, just don't do anything yet. Wait, just wait. I'm going to smack the card, okay? As soon as I smack that card, here's the images right in front of you, right over there. See them? Start scanning back and forth on these right now, okay? As soon as I smack my hand, wherever your eye stops, that's the one you want to type, okay? Trust your eyes. And this is a precognitive test on this, right? So here we go. Ready? And
Harder.
Harder, Daddy.
I got square.
I got a square too.
Star. 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 Bacon. Plus. Square. Circle. Square. Square. Plus. Circle. Plus. Circle. Square. Circle. We're going to give it 10 more seconds. Everybody
Yep.
get them in.
Yep. They should have them in by now. And here we go for the great reveal.
3. Square.
I hate
Square,
to say
square.
it. but
Square wins it.
How many squares do we have?
I said square before.
Yeah, we
Even
had 2
told us
squares
before.
off the gate. Then Ashley got square. Pat got square.
I mean, like I got square before you told us not to think about it before you
Yeah.
spanked the cards.
Right.
Makes sense. I expect nothing more from you.
Linda
Or
said
less.
square. So we got 4, 5, 6. 6.
Okay.
We got 6
6 of them?
squares.
All right. Now this next one,
Those are really good odds for both blinds.
not bad for a precognitive test, right? So
Spookfest said I said pentagram.
does it help having those images up? That's the question, because that's the only variable that we've changed in a precognitive test at this point. So here's what I want you to do on this one. This one's going to be a little bit difficult. So we're going to do a little practice run first, okay? What I want you all to do, every single one of you right now, you guys remember the old, who was it? Was it Yuri? It was Yuri. It was Yuri Geller who used to stop the watches and crap, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. So
Angie said do the brain one.
do the brain one. The brain one. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what I want you to do. You folks who can actually touch your screen or see your screen, take your finger and just go back and forth over top of those cards. Now, while you're doing this, I want you to literally think in your head.
I want to touch you all over. I couldn't help
When I
myself.
think about you, I touch my screen.
Okay. So I want you to think.
If you guys get anything from this one, this is going to be a great one.
Oh, it will be. I want you to think. I want you to blink only when your finger is over the correct card. Okay. That's the directions that you're going to have. So basically, I want you to think. When my finger is over the right card, I will blink and follow your finger back and forth. And when you blink, that's the one that you're going to choose. Okay. Everybody got that?
Are we going? I mean, we could be.
It is a unanimous yes that the graphic is helping.
Okay, here we go. And this is going to be a telepathy type. All right. So I'm going to actually look at this. I'm going to actually look at this card. And I'm going to look at it right now. I'm starting to look at it right now. And whichever one of those you're looking at, your finger's over. If you blink, that's the one that you want it to be. Blink only when I'm on the right card. That's your mental command to yourself. What card is it? You ready? All bets all done.
We got 21 in 20. Yep, there we go. Rob's last
Good
one.
go. All right.
Donahoe. So we got them all now. 23.
It's lines. So I know Asher's Creations got it. I know Tommy Swear got it.
1, 2.
I think that's all they got.
Three.
Three? We got three. Sorry, Nikki. I didn't see you.
Got 3.
We got three. So you see how that works. So basically, you just scan back and forth. You don't have to touch those symbols. Just look back and forth at them, scan back and forth. And when you're over the right one, you're going to feel your eyes start to kind of close on one of them. That's the one it is. It's that one. Don't second guess it. That's the one it is. Now, I'm not going to look at this one. You just learned what to do. So do it. And now, scan.
Couple more.
Yep. There's always one. There's always one, Brandy. And we ready?
We should have 5 more.
Oh, we got 5 more? Okay.
If they're still there.
Okay. missed all three.
Terry McCullough says I missed all three.
That's okay. It's good. It's fine to miss. Don't let that discourage you.
Four more. You don't have to stare at it until your eyes dry out.
Nope.
Two more.
Mine was wandering to owls. Don't do this, Brandy. Don't do this.
Well, Brandy, that's not a card yet.
Screen memories coming through.
Right. Okay.
The owls took me up into the dish, and I saw my mom.
One more. There's one more. Donna, I think, is nope. Donna's up there. So Donna's in there. We've got.
Here we go.
Okay, there he is. Trackway.
Ready?
There we go. We're good. We got him. Bacon.
Uh-oh.
So Spookfest says, slap my bacon, dang it. Then we got
Anita.
Anita got bacon, and we got Tony.
Tony, yeah.
So we got three bacons.
Three bacons.
Three bacons.
Three bacons. So,
Anita made it back right in time. Three bacons. What a twist.
three bacons, and there's three on the card. It means something. Actually, it doesn't. But or does it? But no, that's some pretty good stuff there. Now the problem is, I need the snap. Yeah, a lot of people do actually. It really helps, and it's kind of, you got to give yourself that visual, I guess, ability to do that. And you can literally do that to yourself too. You can scan those cards and be like, am I looking at the right one? And when I snap my finger, that's the one I'm going to blink on. And boom, you link, and it's like it's a star. It's like boom, just like that.
Lisa said, I love that we still call it bacon. And then Asher's Creation says it means more bacon.
But you can only do that, a couple of times. So you're not going to get that right every single time. So when you see me do things like that, that's just, that's chance. So you guys who are going to make it down to the St. Albans Paranormal Discussion Group are going to be in for a treat. We will be doing a little bit more advanced stuff than playing with Zinner cards. We have some really cool experiments lined up for you. It will not be as long as the previous one. I hope not. Anyway, I think it was like 2.5 hours or something. But we're going to be going over remote viewing, out-of-body experiences, the differences between the two and the similarities between the two. And we're going to do a couple experiments in which you are going to learn a little bit about remote viewing. And some of you might actually be able to pick it up. You might be able to do some associative remote viewing, because that's kind of what you've been doing with this. It's a form. It's a modified form. The protocol's kind of different, but it's a modified form. And that's what we're going to be getting into. So it's going to be really good. It's going to be a fun time.
Seth said, I miss every time with the cards on the screens. I was on fire in previous weeks.
So you know what, Seth? That actually could mean that it does mess you up. Some people it seems to help. Other people's it does not. So that's a real thing. That's a factor.
Yeah, your blinking really messed me up.
Oh, you'll learn more about that.
I know
at the workshop. But
oh no, I'm just saying I hate you for that.
Well, that's that little method right there is how I found. I don't even know how many there was. It was that whole toad of crystals I showed you guys. That's exactly how I did that.
Well, you're going to have an opportunity at the workshop, Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely. You can share that anytime. Here, there, doesn't matter.
I can have vivid dream when like that, so that's cool. Current remote viewing the insides of Adam Good's head. So much bad.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You guys.
Why wouldn't it be? I mean, you're telling
Adam
me stuff
is
I don't
very
know.
good and very evil.
You guys.
Mom calls me evil.
He's a paradox. That's what he is. He's a paradox. A
Mom
walking,
goes, "You're evil."
walking ironic statement of existence. That is Adam Good.
Yes.
Are the indies considered out of body experiences? Some people would consider them that, Tommy. The modus is the same, practically. There's some theories, early theories that said that, the out of body experiences are actually a practice for dying. I think Robert Monroe actually said it one in the book. But that's a good way to put it, because it does seem to follow the same thing. And it also seems to open gates on multiple other phenomena. Let's put it that way. It's very interesting that a lot of these people who have these near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences, especially spontaneous, come to realize later that they actually have these other contact type experiences and other stranger things and high strangeness around them. I didn't forget it. It's here. I just didn't put it on tonight. It's hot in the studio. And it's very, very warm. Last week, if you watched the show, I had a bunch of Hawaiian leis around me, and I burned up through that show. Those things were hot because I couldn't get one off. I had to wear the whole thing. It was the last minute kind of thing. It was fun.
There
But
will
yeah,
be blood.
Gets hot in here. What is wrong with you?
I'm doing my best. There will be blood impersonation.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Well,
and you were just talking about me, like I'm a kind of walking contradiction. Then you go and say, "What is wrong with you?"
I know. I don't know why it confuses me. It shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, geez, you should know a lady by now.
You would think. You would think.
Octopus says, "Can I be honest? I have a decent amount of psychic experiences in my normal life, but I have next to zero luck with these cards."
Yeah, and that's fine, because the protocol with the cards is completely an alien concept to some people. I've been actually testing myself since, God, I think since high school. I made my first pack of Zener cards in art class, and I wore them out, literally. So I got to the point where I could recognize the patterns of, oh, you got that one right, or you'll hit a run and then it just stops, and then you hit a run and it just stops. There's always a pattern there, and it's kind of like it indicated that there was sort of a charge going on. So some people perceive that completely different. You may not be able to get cards at all. You may have better luck, with just visualization, however it works for you,
Bring out your dead.
Okay. But yeah, it's completely different experience for everyone. The fact that these guys are getting the fact that we had 2 consecutive runs of the precognitive test with such high numbers, that was interesting. That was very interesting. I'm not sure how that happened.
It's trending the last 2 weeks that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there. I don't even know. What is that?
Cat. That's cat typing.
Holy crap, we went up quite a bit, guys. I guess you guys listened to us and shared this out or something, because we're almost at 18:30 at this point, and we just started the show at 18:15. So thank you all. That is a phenomenal jump in one episode. hopefully we keep at least, 5 of you guys that we pull in. I
Right.
mean, that would be wonderful if we could manage to do that. It happens. We get people, they don't agree with some things. I don't know why, but
Yes,
we're
I
all
have.
here. We're all here for discourse. We don't have to actually agree with each other. That's an echo chamber. That's a cult. That's not what we are. So,
Linda said, anybody jumped out of bed from coming back into your body? I do.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called snapback. At least that's what I call it. And it can be pretty. It can be pretty startling. I want to tell you guys, I just went over and looked at our history, and you guys did something that's never been done before on this show. So give yourself a big old round of applause for real and start thanking each other. First of all, you hit the chat messages at 1,216. That has never been done before. Second of all, and those are organic too. So that's good. That's not like, Adam's not sitting here like making letters. You also got something I've never seen before. We have a gold star at the 1 hour and 31 minute mark. Apparently something really important was happening because we got 57 reactions. Now, I wish I knew what that was too. And apparently the algorithm really liked that. So when we say,
You can go back and rewatch.
yeah, I know. So when we say, to like, share, and subscribe, just beat the crap out of that like button or those heart emojis or whatever, because it's paying attention. We had that many people who did it. That's pretty impressive. Very impressive. Phasm cams, GoPros, thermals, Tacticam camcorders, Trifield, wet bulb device, H1Ns, Sony's, and all batteries fully charged and ready to go. Trackway says, yep, same. We
Sweet.
have a multitude of stuff. And when we say we're going to throw everything we have at the TNT area, we are going to throw everything we have available collectively at the TNT area, not just what we have, but what all of you have. And we are going to be on the same channel. We're going to learn how it's all going to work throughout the day. And we're going to take notes, and we're going to make sure that if we do catch the data, we're going to record the data multiple times if we have to. And we're going to make sure that we have enough to actually make a presentation.
Men in Black.
Oh my goodness.
Lisa said, they say sleep paralysis is when you come back to your body and don't make it the whole way in.
I've heard that before.
No, but this is a cult here. It's my cult.
Adam.
It's my birthday. Come on. We know.
Oh, well, it's his birthday. Let him have his cult if it's their birthday, guys. Come on.
Yeah, it's a cult.
Just
come on.
Let him have it.
The Matthew McConaughey cult.
Just let him have it. Remember what I said? We don't have to agree with everyone. We just have to entertain them. Okay?
Yeah, Ron says a lot of things.
I do. I say a lot of things. And you all, most of you listen, except for the ones that chase orbs.
Spookfest says,
Yeah,
I have a lot of great
sounds
feedback
like
from people I share this with. Thanks, guys. Amazing stuff. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Spookfest. Thank you so much.
Seth, the good scripture.
Oh boy, spreading the weird. That's what we're doing.
I'm just waiting for FBI or CIA to pick me up and are you a cult leader? Yes, I am.
Right. That's probably going to happen in your future. Just have to deal with it when it does.
Thanks, Pat. Hey, damn.
Good Lord. I see why we got the gold star. 522 reactions, guys. You guys absolutely are amazing. That's all I'm going to say about it. See, I can't see. I can only see like one little thumbs up here. But apparently.
That's only because that's from the Facebook side.
Yeah. Well, apparently YouTube can see a lot more. And they did a lot more. A whole lot more. I've never seen the numbers that high before, and neither has the algorithm. So you've thoroughly launched us into new territory, and we're probably going to be seen by a lot more people thanks to that. So, gosh, bless you all. Thank you.
I do have to say that since this is my cult, I named Joe, the leader of the congregation.
Oh, man.
It's all in your hands, Joe.
God help them all.
Exactly.
I don't know.
That chaotic evil energy you got,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, checking this one more time. I want to see if I can get into. Yeah, here it is.
To the moon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, people are doing it now. I see your emotes coming up. I can see them. I can see them.
Come back, Joe.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Where'd Joe go? Oh well. Okay, that's odd. Apparently, the men in black have abducted Joe. I don't know what happened there. I have no clue. Very strange. Sometimes, you just let it go. This is how live shows work. You never know what's going to happen, and you just have to kind of roll with the punches, so to speak. Right, Adam?
Yeah.
It's very strange. But
I hate to see Joe go.
oh, I know. Angie says Angie says he was probably raptured. So, I guess I see what she's saying about us.
I always knew that I wasn't going to make it. Might as well live it up, right?
And you didn't make the cut, man.
Yeah. I'm good no matter what.
Pab says Joe got eated. Okay. Joe got eated. I mean, it might have happened. I don't know.
Maybe
we've also seen him jump off the air like that and have to go throw up before because of his violent headaches that he gets.
I hope he's feeling okay. That's why I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he should be good. He should be good. Adams sent dude after him. Yeah, you never know. I mean,
no, I'm here to send Dogman after Ron here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ron needs more puppies in his life.
I don't. I really don't.
Oh yeah. I got a Dogman right in here.
Yeah.
Who wants to see the Dogman?
Nobody. He was beamed up. Joe's with the Grays now.
Show of hands. Who wants to see the Dogman?
No,
Pat,
no.
we need you.
Oh no.
Pat, we need you. Come on, just one hand. One hand. Come on.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Come on, Pat. I got a Dogman here.
Tommy, thank you so much for showing up, and do have a good afternoon, my friend.
Oh, here we go. Come here.
Oh man. Yep, there it is. It was such a vicious creature. I've heard that they can just literally just rip people apart. I mean, is that true?
Oh yeah, he tears up a meatloaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say to your audience? Oh no.
I think I can see how terrifying that is. I mean, that is a terrifying beast if I have ever seen one. I can see myths and legends and stories just being told about that.
Oh no, he's so sleepy tonight.
It's terrifying. We need more good air donations to raise Joe from the great beyond. Oh God. Yep. That is good, man. That's
don't worry, we're gonna collect them this weekend at the Mothman.
Oh yeah, that's it.
No, I need everyone to come together. We're getting a huge pot of beans. It's going to be awesome. We are going to light things up.
Oh my gosh.
Right, Linda? He is our true leader.
Oh, geez. Anyway, folks, I hope we do see you out there. I know we're going to see some of you out there, and I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've been prepping for this on top of about a million other things all week. It's been very hectic, and I just want to rest. I just want to rest. That's all I can say about it. I can't say much more than that, but it's going to be fun. And afterwards, I am going to crash.
It's going to be awesome.
Promise.
I got to say, it's going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome. It's going to be totally incredible is what's going to be. Anybody got any questions before we head out about the workshop or anything else? Go ahead and pop them in there.
Yeah, we need to. Please keep the Men in Black in your thoughts. They're suffocating here because we just don't give them enough farts.
Oh, no, don't do this.
We need to give. We need to give often. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, absolutely, Adam. It's been a blast, and for real, happy birthday. I'm glad you could make it on for for the celebration. It's all been in good fun, and I think we've managed to help a few people out there. Like I said, that was the goal, was to actually reach out, and just for a couple of minutes anyway, between the humor, and I think the message got out. It's okay to have these experiences, to realize you are not alone. You never have been alone. If you want to talk about them, you talk about those experiences, and if you don't have anywhere else to talk about them, find us at our table, email us, come over to the to a booth, or just come on here and talk. I mean, it's the seat is open, the door is open, the invitation is there, and literally the only thing that we won't accept is negativity. We will not accept negativity. That doesn't mean you can't disagree. I mean, we all disagree with each other from time to time. It's just the way that we disagree, and that's healthy discourse. It's okay. You don't have to believe every single thing someone says. We just ask that you listen to them. Just listen to them. It's up to you if you decide to walk away at the end.
Yep. And I have to say thank you all for the birthday wishes and love. I love every single one of you.
Well, you can't get any better than that, folks. So please do come back next week, same place, same time, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And I don't know what next week's going to be about either. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to let us know, because literally right now we're doing so much stuff that it's insane, and we can't think of topics. So if you have a topic you would like to see us cover, please let us know. Drop it.
I have one.
Go ahead.
Workshop recovery. I know something weird is probably going to happen.
I know, right? And don't say that, because this is the issue. If something, okay, everyone who is here right now is a witness to understand this. At multiple workshops, we have had things happen. We should not have anything happen at this. I'll be honest with you, straight up. We should not have anything happen at this. We have been there. We've taken our readings at this point. We have our baselines. We know what we're going into. Nothing should happen. If something does happen, please tell the story. That's all I'm going to ask you. Just tell the story, because so far we've been lucky. We've had multiple people have those experiences at the canoa, the Bigfoot workshop, right? We had some people who had those experiences. They validated it. Yep. It's not just a story. When you have that many people who saw something, it's not just a story now. Now it's become a bit of a legend at that point, So yeah, if you see something, please don't run from it. Come out and say, yep, I was there. I saw that. I don't understand it any more than anybody else, but I saw it. And that's all you have to say.
Yeah. And I think it goes in with your personal intent and good thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, it's all about intent, and it is about good thoughts, what you just said. And I think that's why we had so much reaction out at that Bigfoot workshop. Like Glenn said, it's about the intention. We had so many people who were just in a great mood. They were just projecting this, friendly. It was friendly. And, that's what it was all about. And I think that really played a part in it, man.
100%.
It's absolutely going to be amazing. Ashley said, get Tobias Whalen on the show. I might know someone who knows him. You might. And that could absolutely happen in the future, for sure. What happened? We don't know what happened. Honestly, Octopus, we really don't know what happened to Joe. He had to go. It could have been a kid issue, something like that. Remember, he has 2 kids that he wrangles. So it could have been something like that.
A dog and a wife.
That's right. So anyway, everybody, I'm going to call it for the night. Adam, thank you for being here.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Like I said, we're going to do this again next week. I don't know what the topic's going to be. Tune in and find out. It could be something amazing. Please keep watch on Wild and Weird UFO Cryptid Talk page over there on Facebook, because we're going to be, putting up whatever's going to happen tomorrow. So just keep watching. It's going to get weird. I'm not kidding you. There's going to be some weird stuff happening. So yeah, we're going to stay up on top of all the latest breaking news on the UFO and UAP front, as well as the Pope's interesting announcement tomorrow. So let's see what happens tomorrow, and let's not speculate for tonight. And let's all remember the weekend just started early.
Thank you, everyone.
That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Okay, I'm out. Everyone, stay wild and weird. We'll see you out there.